In this video, we'll talk about painting glass. I will be painting this glass of wine. I think this photo is very striking and it gives me an opportunity to use all my blues and some of my purples and reds. I think the main thing about painting glass is to have enough contrast between those very bright defined highlights and dark areas. We think of glass as something light or transparent, but actually some of the reflections in the glass can be very dark, and that contrast that creates the illusion of glass. And I will tell you in advance, you will see how I create those highlights at the end. I will be using some white gouache because I tried using masking fluid and it was a complete disaster. And if it's probably a little hard to see on the video, but I applied it, and when I started taking it off, for some reason, I never have luck with it, especially on this fluid brand watercolor paper. It always takes the upper layer of the paper off. And also another problem is that those highlights always end up in the wrong spot because my style of painting is very kind of free painterly. I don't really stick very much to the pencil drawing. I draw with my brush as I paint, and then all those masked highlights end up in the wrong spots. You saw this technique in a lot of my videos. I add the highlights last with a opaque gouache. I'm going to spray my paper with water, and this time I'm going to spray it on both sides. I want to try to paint on very saturated paper because I want watercolor to flow and mix together and not sink into the fibers of the paper. And let's start painting. I'm using a 1-inch flat brush with rounded corners, and I'm basically going through all my blue colors. I start with Cobalt blue, then I'm using Phtalo Blue, there will be some Ultramarine blue and some Antwerp blue. And to paint wine, I'm going to mix Anthraquinoid Red in various proportions with my other blues. I'm picking up a lot of pigment and I'm letting it float and mix on paper because I want to start with a very soft, like I said, painterly base. And then on top of it, I will be adding those very dark areas that will have some hard edges. And I will be adding highlights that will also have hard edges. But to start, I want to have soft edges. So that's why I'm working wet on damp paper. I am trying to leave some areas as white paper. I think it always looks better, even if we can add the highlights back. Leaving white paper is important, but I try not to let it kind of stilt my painting and prevent me from working in a loose, flowy manner. It's also good to distribute your colors all over your page. So I am adding some Anthraquinoid Red in the background as well, not just in the glass. And it's also important for watercolor to work. Like you see here in the glass, it's important to leave certain areas alone, to apply as much pigment as you can in one go and then leave it alone, because once we start retouching things, you get blossoms, you can see the brush strokes, and it's just never the same. It doesn't look the same as when you let watercolor do its thing. Okay, this is my first layer. I am going to pick up some paint in the areas where I have highlights. There's a big highlight there on the left side of the glass. And I'm also going to use my paper towel to create a little bit of that texture on the wine glass. I was thinking how I can do that, and I think clean paper towel is the best tool to create that stripy texture. I'll sprinkle a little bit of red, but I don't think it will stay there because the paper is just too wet, but it will remind me that I need to create some texture there. And I can also define that stream of wine with a smaller brush, just a little bit. It will also need a little more work. Okay, my first layer is dry. Now I am going to add more color, and I'm going to add my hard edges. And as a rule, I think I tend to use a flat brush to create like rectangular or objects that have straight edges. I think flat brush works a lot better. And also if I need to create a hard edge, flat brush works better as well. This is a synthetic. It's very inexpensive, but it works great. It has good snap to it, and it's not overly stiff or overly soft. It does hold its shape very well. Okay, if we squint when looking at the reference photo, we will see that certain areas need a lot more paint, which I'm going to add. Almost out of my Anthraquinoid Red in my well. I need to add some more, but I think it should be enough for this painting. So if you see me using that almost empty well, that's Anthraquinoid Red in there by Daniel Smith. So squinting when looking at the reference photo and trying to find darkest darks and paint them. So this side, the left side of the glass, will be very dark. And again, I'm going through all my blues on my palette plus Anthraquinoid Red. I did use a little bit of Scarlet Lake and yellow on the table just for warmth and for variety, but that's about it. Everywhere else I'm just using my 4 blues and my Anthraquinoid Red. And I know the colors look almost black on the screen, but it's just very dark blue in reality, or purple. And watercolor tends to go through an ugly teenager stage. About halfway working on it, you will think, this doesn't look right, and can I make it look right? But until you have all your darks, all your midtones, and all your highlights in place, don't give up on it, because usually if you keep working, things will come together and your painting will turn out successful. But it has to go through a stage where it looks kind of pretty bad, like mine does right now. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to balance dark, midtone, and light areas. I'm kind of not even looking at the reference photo that much anymore, but I'm looking at my painting and trying to see what it needs to succeed. The background needs more color. I'm using a dry soft brush to distribute paint in the background, to soften those edges where I added some paint. And I'm adding midtone to the wine because it has a lot of color in the light, so I'm adding that color using Scarlet Lake. Drawing is important. I think the top of my glass has some perspective problems, so I'm going to correct that with a smaller brush. Okay, this is it for watercolor painting. Now we're going to have fun and add those really bright highlights with white gouache. I changed my water, very important. I don't want any of the watercolor pigment getting into my white gouache, and I clean my brushes. I'm going to squeeze out just a little bit of gouache into my ceramic cup right here. Don't need much. I try not to waste paint because, as you know, when gouache, if you ever dealt with gouache, after it dries, you can never reconstitute it to the same consistency because you need gum arabic to bind the pigment, and adding water dilutes that creamy consistency of gouache. Okay, my light is pretty bright, so you can't really see it, but I have white gouache in the cup, And again, I'm looking at the reference photo and I'm adding the highlights that I see there on the glass, on top of the glass. They're very pronounced. They have hard edges. So I'm working with thick undiluted gouache with a small brush. I dampened the brush, but I didn't add any water to the gouache itself. Okay, this big highlight on the glass. I think important thing here is not to make it all the same. So I am making the top edge of it harder and wider, and then I kind of soften it towards the bottom. I think that makes it look a lot more realistic than just painting it completely white. And also there is a bright highlight on the side of the glass here, which I have some as white paper, but then I lost some of it as well. And also here on the bottom, and you can see that our painting is starting to look more and more realistic because those really bright defined highlights, that's what makes glass look like glass. It's important not to rush through this stage. Sometimes artists think highlights are kind of superficial. They get tired by the time they get to highlights, but they need to be painted as accurately as the rest of the painting. And also if we look at the photo carefully as well, we will see that not all highlights are bright white. Some of them have more kind of blue in them. So I mix my gouache with a little bit of cobalt blue. These two materials work great together. They're pretty much the same, just different consistency. And I'm going to use that blue mixture to add some highlights that are not quite as bright, but they are also present in the reference photo, so they need to be painted as well. And I have several videos on my channel. Actually, I have a whole playlist of working with gouache. If you're interested in this medium, I think it's very versatile and fun to work with. I find it much easier actually than watercolor. So if you would like to check that out, go to gouache painting playlist, and I think you can find some fun things to try there. And gouache also great in combination with watercolor as well. I have some videos. I will leave you some links in the description of this video. And let's do a third variation of the highlight. Drop in just a tiny bit of Anthraquinoid Red into my mixture and have more purple color and paint those bubbles on the wine. Depending on how much time you spend on painting all these details, the more photorealistic your painting will look. I'm not a big fan of photorealism, so I'm just going to kind of hint on them with a few brush strokes, and I think that should be sufficient. And let me know in comments if glass is one of the subjects that you're interested in painting, if you learned something new from this video, and if you did, what was it? And also what other materials you're interested in painting, so we can learn together and try different things together. If you use artist gouache for highlights, it's water soluble and it remains workable after it dries. I always use that when I work with watercolor because then I can make corrections. If I apply too much, I can lift excess gouache and make watercolor shine through it, or I can add watercolor on top of the gouache to change color. If you used acrylic gouache, it will dry and it will stay in place. You will not be able to make corrections with acrylic gouache. Maybe a little bit of texture on the glass, a little sprinkling. To sprinkle gouache, I have to dilute it with water quite a bit. And the painting is pretty much done. I'm not happy with the left hand side of my glass. As paint dried, it lightened more than I expected it to lighten. So I am going to make black mixture. It's Phtalo Blue with Scarlet Lake. They're near complementary colors, and they create a beautiful, very dark, almost black, kind of dark blue. So I am going to restate those darkest areas one more time now that I have everything in place. My mid-tone, my highlights. I can restate the darks. This will be my last touch, because like I said in the beginning of the video, that's what makes glass look like glass, is the sharp contrast between dark areas and very bright defined highlights. And maybe let's darken the background a little more, not to waste the paint that I already mixed here, but I think background can use a little more paint to make it slightly darker. And here is the final result, our glass of wine. I hope you give it a try. I left the link to that photo in the video description. You can find it on Unsplash website. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was useful, and I will see you in the next video here on Tammy Rap Studios channel.